We're live. Thought I would dance. Better bring the mic over. Who is all live? Who is in the house? Thought I'd put this message up first. Chill pill, hit it on the head. Sorry, I've just eaten grapes. Chill pill, hit it on the head. And don't worry, it's just my usual Fantalimon. So, yeah. Thought I'd set the tone right from the start. Cheers for doing that for me, Chill pill. Let's get some comments up. Patrick Toner's in the house. James is in the house. Paul Baird is in the house. Ewan Boy's in the house. Weather looking good in Spain. It's always good in Spain. Ewan Boy, when are you over? When do you come over? Lorna's in the house. Kevin's in the house. Vincent's in the house. Tam Mack's in the house. Kevin Emmett's in the house. And I'll jump right to the front. Derek's in the house. Derek's up in Aberdeen. And Paul McEwen is in the house. Right, let's get back to talking about Celtic, because a lot of people are not happy about everything else. And the only thing I'm going to say on it, this channel was all about bringing you the Celtic news. And it seems that people want me to dumb down talking about Celtic. And I like to talk about everything Celtic. I like to talk about what's going on with the fans. And it's a pretty important thing that's going on with the fans. But we're not going to talk about it this evening. I'm going to, as you see in the comments, I did do a video earlier on today that I didn't post purely for the fact that, you know what, I'm fed up of it. I'm under the bed, said Stephen. Peaky Parker says, hi, Chill Pill says, hello. Yeah, so I did do a video earlier talking about the statement that was put out, but I didn't post it. So I'm like, right, that's it. I'll just put it to bed. It's not ideal, because I like to talk about everything Celtic, and I like to talk about the entire fan base. And I feel that, Michael, they're not a tiny percent of the fans. This is all I'm going to say. It's not a tiny percent of the fans. The amount of comments that I've got and the amount of messages on social media saying, like, at least somebody's talking about it, because there's nobody else talking about it. Right, let's move on. That's it. It's done. It's dusted. That's all we talk about it. Celtic, right. You know how I always try and talk up the youngsters at Celtic Football Club. And spoke about Stephen Kenny this morning, 20-year-old striker that's away out on loan in Ireland. And he's basically, as far as I'm concerned, he's not getting his chance at Celtic. Today, we've been linked with a QPR striker. And guess what? He's only 20-year-old. He's only 20-year-old and going into the last year of his contract. And Celtic have been linked with him. Unbelievable. That's actually unbelievable. According to reports, QPR have offered the striker a new 5-year contract to aim to secure him at Loftus Road long term. But it sounds, even though they're making positive progress, Celtic are sniffing about. That's all I'm going to say about it. Right, what about Scotland getting to be part of 2028? 2028. Scotland at 2028. And the only stadium that the SFA could put forward was Hampden. Yeah, the only stadium they could put forward is Hampden, because they think it's the only stadium that's good enough. Have they been to Hampden as a supporter recently? It's the worst ground to get to as a fan. There is nothing at it at all. As for match day experience, it's a complete embarrassment. Jeez, that's all I'm going to say. Ian Maxwell has revealed Hampden was the only fitting stadium to host Euro 2028 in the major finals in 5 years' time will be held across the UK and Ireland. The likes of Wembley, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the Etihad Stadium, all the big stadiums down south, and then Hampden Park. Hampden Park. What can you say? Maxwell revealed that the likes of Celtic Park and Ibrox were not considered as only iconic, but Hampden would be fitting for such an occasion. That's embarrassing. Without a doubt, and we are pretty biased about this, without a doubt, The one thing you're talking pish, I don't believe you with that tiny percentage. He's talking amongst yourself. Anyway, Hampden was, let's face it, right? Celtic Park played a massive part in the Commonwealth Games a few years back. Massive part. Celtic since then have built the Celtic way, and they've done a lot more. And the overall fan experience around the ground, the ease to get to the ground, there's ample parking, considering you've got the place across the road with this massive car park. Um, Celtic also has car parking at its facility, you know, at Celtic Park. And for the SFA to then want international fans, international fans to go to Hampden for a big event when the fan experience at Hampden is absolutely rank rotten. Talking about rank rotten, Peter Lawwell says that the players are playing too much football. Boom. It seems that the football calendar is getting busier and busier. And Mr. Peter Lawwell thinks that football has reached a breaking point. A breaking point. Lawwell spoke to the BBC. He's claimed that welfare needs to be looked at. We've pushed it a bit too far, particularly with the new World Cup and the restart dates now and then. Must come up with a process that covers everything in terms of player welfare, time on the pitch, and time in training. We have probably maxed that out. I'd kind of this is probably one of the only times that I would maybe agree with Peter. The expansion of the Champions League that Celtic are looking likely to be involved in next year. You're going to play more games in the Champions League, which means it's going to be less time to play games during the week. For me, Peter Lawwell should now be pushing for the Scottish League to be expanded and we play each other twice. If that's his thinking that we play too many games, he should now be pushing the Scottish Football League to change the format, change this stupid top six split, keep the playoff thing. That's exciting at the end of the season for them that are getting relegated. Get away from the top six. It's a joke. Change the size of the Scottish League. He needs to concentrate on what's going on in his own backyard, as they say. But anyway, it's absolutely crazy. But Peter Lawwell does think that we're playing far too much football. For a number of years, football has continually got more and more hectic. And just a season, Celtic will be, in 4 different competitions around winter time. 4 different competitions. Well, this season we got put out one early, so yeah, it's going to be even harder to try and balance the fact that we're going to be playing more Champions League games before Christmas because the Champions League wants to be done and dusted. Despite Lawwell's pleas, I can't see anything changing anytime soon. Right, Celtic players on international duty. Let's talk about them. Celtic players. Celtic put out a thing today saying total of 13 players from Brendan Rodgers' first team squad are set to join up. Well, they already have. Join up with their international teammates at senior and under 21 levels as they compare for competitive and friendly action. Greg Taylor has been called to the Scotland squad alongside Callum McGregor. Will Greg Taylor get a game? Probably, he might get a game. I don't think so. It'll be tough for Greg Taylor to break into Stephen Clarke's squad. Against Spain, it's going to be a good one for me. I'm going to be watching it in Paddy's. I've never watched it down there. It's going to be hard. I usually try to watch it with Spanish just to wind them up. The quest for getting to Germany 2024 before travelling to France to take on the second ranked country action. You can see Greg Taylor getting a game against France. I don't think he'll get a game against Spain because they want to go try and grab something for that. Spain will be right up for trying to win that game, believe me. Should Scotland win or draw in Seville or Norway, or if Norway fail to win any of the remaining qualifiers, which includes a visit to Spain this week, then Taylor McGregor will be celebrating Scotland automatically qualified for a tournament for the first time since 1998. France 98. The missus was at France at 98 as well. She was at France 98. I wasn't. I was at home. Let's get to some of the comments. Palma scored for Honduras last time they played. Yep, he did that. Again, it's doing with being a 5-star stadium. Sadly, we're only 4 stars, says your boy Martin. Yeah, it is that, but you would think Scotland would shoot. Nah, I'm not believing that. I'm not believing that for a minute, Ian Boy, because when you look at some of the England, that club, that ground in Northern Ireland is never a five-star stadium. Come on, come on. Celtic Park as a venue for, I mean, you can away fans can say what they want because they get the restricted view thing, but away fans have that little corner. When you're looking at it from an event perspective, um, and the management and getting people to and from a game, they're not going to be staying in and around Hampden Park for an event like that. They're going to be travelling to the game. The other gun town hall. Yep. Speak carefully what you talk about on this chat, right? Moderators should not be kicking anyone off tonight. You can say what you want in the comments. Just don't talk about the Green Brigade in Palestine because uh, I've personally, um, I'm not even going to talk about it. Anyway, let's get back to the 13 players that are going to both Liam Scales and Mikey Johnson are back for Ireland. Uh, Liam Scales will be looking to get his first start for Ireland. Will Mikey Johnson get back in the team? He's not played, he's not match fit, so I think he's just back in the squad. Although he did do well last year when he played the defender. Liam Scales has made it. What can you say about Liam Scales? He's had a fantastic start and he'll be eyeing up his first cap for his country. That would be some turnaround in Liam Scales' career so far, his short career so far. If Liam Scales was to get a game for Ireland, it would be absolutely spanners for the Huns. Yep, spanners for the Huns. Yes, I'm sorry, I was reading a comment there. I'm like, not saying a word. Right, back to Liam Scales. What a turnaround it would be for him. The defenders made a terrific start to the campaign for Celtic, and he'll be eyeing up the first cap. Meanwhile, Johnson will be looking to build on his previous appearances. He scored in his last appearance for Stephen Kenny's side. They ran out 3-0 winners over Gibraltar. Now, talking about Gibraltar, they play Wales, Wales tomorrow night. On my other channel, I'm going to be doing a watch along for that as a test, just as a test. So if you want to just watch a bit of football tomorrow night and hear my dulcet tones, and we can all talk about it and have a laugh, and let's see if we could find any decent players for Wales, maybe. I'm allowed one, says Scott. Liam Scales, Ballon d'Or nominee. You know, Scales, if he manages to get his first cap for Ireland, um, if he manages to get his first cap for Ireland, what a turn! And I saw a comment on social media, and it was people saying, "Look, Scales has been at Celtic for a couple of years now. It's not as if he was picked up walking down the road outside Celtic Park. People need to sort of calm down a bit." He thought that the reaction about the way that Liam Scales has played this season was a bit of an overreaction by Celtic fans. It's like, come on, give him a break, man. It's like he was complete and utter, he was that far out of the first team that you never thought that he was actually going to make it. I mean, people from Ireland said he was a cracking player, but you know, big up our own fans. Big up our own fans. That's what our own fans. I'm reading comments and trying to talk at the same time. Big up our own players. Big up players that want to play for us and want to stay with us. Anyway, Liam Scales, I think if he gets that call up for Ireland, it'll be absolutely fantastic. Right, also getting his first international call up, I'm sure. Maybe. Um, no, it was the last round of fixtures. Gustav got his call up the last one. He's got his place in the Sweden team. So Gustav looks as if he must be fit again. The centre back will join up the squad that face Moldova and a friendly before taking on second seed group Belgium. How are they doing these days? Belgium used to have a cracking team. Anyway, before the international break, it was a welcome return for Cameron Carter Vickers. I did tell you the news this morning. The Cameron Carter Vickers is back for the US of A. They have two friendlies against Germany and Ghana over in America. Will he get any game time in those two games? And that'll be an interesting one. The trio of Celts will also be in action for Japan, whilst Alistair Johnson will face off against Japan with Rio Hitati and Kyogo being named. Oh, we need to watch that. To do it. What time is that game on? Canada. Let me get the Canada game up. Canada. When's the Canada game? Canada, Japan, Portugal. Let me doubt. Let me better Google it. 2 seconds. Uh, Canada, Japan. When is it? When is this game? 6th of October. That was 2019. Anybody tell me when the Canada Japan game is? Can't find it. Anyway, if we can get that, we might watch that along. Politics not for me. What's happening, Baz, Merv, Celtic? Not a lot. We're talking about players that are at international duty, but a lot of people are talking in the chat about other things. William says that he rated skills for the first time we saw him, but he really good. Does he get it right? Um, William, I said that about Callum McGregor the first time I saw him. I can always remember when we played his first games, we played the pre-season at Paisley, and I said he will be a Celtic captain one day, and I got absolutely slated on the bus, absolutely slated on the bus for that. But we are talking around about, we're talking about Alistair Johnson facing up to Hatate and Kyogo. They will travel back to their homeland as Japan go up against Tunisia in the current Challenge Cup. So they'll be playing Tunisia. For Tunisia, they travelled before Tunisia, they travelled Japan, facing off each other. So to O has been called up. Klingsman is called O up into the group also as they play their game against Vietnam and Palma. Palma, he's looking to score again. I think he scored the last time he played for this country. He's on a run of goals for Celtic just now, and the Celtic winger they play in the plays against Cuba. Hey, plays against Cuba. I love when you see all these teams that Celtic players now travel off and go to. Under 21 level, Odin will take part in the Norway squad against Latvia and San Marino. Paulo Bernardo will pick up his 20th cap for Portugal at under 21 level. His 20th cap for Portugal under 21 level. They aim to continue their 100% start to the qualifying campaign. Paulo Bernardo, 20 caps at under 21 level. Jaw didn't even get a cap at under 21, did he? I don't think he did. Anyway, the game is in Vietnam. But let's go back. Maida dropped out the Japan team. Yes, he did. He's got an injury. And the Prawn Brigade. Yeah, yeah. And the, I take it he's a talking. Right. Choppo says, Maida, let's face it, he's washed. He's washed. I miss Jota. You miss Jota, really? Don't you think that Lewis Palma is going to be a player that can score? I think he's going to score some more fantastic. See, when you look at the Palma goal, right? People are raving about the Hatsati one and the fact that he nutmegged a player and then taken it on and in that shot. When you look at the one that Lewis Palma scored, he tried to pass the ball and the ball came back to him. He puts his foot up and he stops the ball with his foot, with his studs, and then he takes the shot. So it's almost a dead ball. It's almost like a free kick situation that is that I'm not saying that he's better than Jota just now. Break, man. Anyway, do you like new lights? I've got disco lights. Just like Celtic Park. John Shirley says we've had a couple person helps 7 Up chocolate. It says Monte. Yes, that was the beginning. That was the last week, wasn't it? Palmer's more direct and honestly has great technical ability. Obviously, I thought he would be Wash says Slim. I think that going forward, I think that Alma could score some more spectacular goals compared to what Jota scored. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I think the goals will be a bit more spectacular and a bit more from range. And I can't wait till he starts taking free kicks from outside the box. I cannot wait till he starts missing. Lorna misses Jota, but I think Palma would be great for us. Monte, unpopular opinion, but I think Johnson is actually going downhill, says James. Japan, there you go, Vincent. Uh, 11:15, 11:35 at night. Oh, I'm not staying up for that. Actually, I don't know if I will. I might do. Might do. Might watch that just for. It will be at night, won't it? If you're into watching that, I might do a watch along for it, just to see Johnson and the Celtic players doing it. Palma over Haxa, 100%. Where did that go? 100%. Palmer just needs games now, says Monty. Yep, definitely. I would definitely, I'm right up for watching that game on Friday, actually. Oh, no, I can't. I just remembered what day it is. How could I forget? Yeah, I might not be doing much on Friday. I never used work on this Friday. Yeah, that gives it all away. So, yep, Kaiser, I think Hacksaw will be sold. We don't need him. Yeah, Haksabanovic is gone. Haksabanovic is gone as far as I'm concerned. He's mouthing off down it. I mean, look at where he's went to Stoke. Come on. I think he's made his bed and they could lie in it as far as I'm concerned. He's left Celtic and he's gone. That's it as far as he's gone. Norman says so far O is what? I said about O this morning on the video, and I got a few comments saying that you can't honestly criticise O when he doesn't get game time. And I've said that before. I said O does need game time. You go under the One Celtic Fans View on Twitter, username. I don't know. There is a One Celtic Fans View, but it's an old account that I can't get back into. Yeah, it is. It's that one. Celtic News video goes under. It's that one. Joined 2000. Oh, my battery's going to die. Yeah, that's my old original. That's my original football Twitter account. So if you go back many, many years, you'll see everything that was posted. Anyway, O comes on for 15 minutes and does nothing. John Shirley says, Baz Palmer must do what Jota does when he scores. Isn't famous. I think Palmer do his own thing, and that's what's good about him. Ramsey says, hi, hey, I follow you. Hey, I follow that guy on Twitter. He's a good guy. It says Kaiser. It says Kaiser. Always only played about 80 minutes. Game time, says Tam Mac. But the thing is this what we need to watch, because we had a really good striker and he wanted away because he wasn't getting game time. And I just feel that this afternoon we were linked with a 20-year-old striker from Queen's Park Rangers. That's not the story, the QPR story. And Guy Armstrong, he's only in the last year of his contract, and Celtic are trying to steal him. Now, we've got a 20-year-old striker of our own at the moment, Stephen Kenny. Would you say that Queen's Park Rangers is a higher than Shamrock Rovers? You're probably saying that it is a higher level, but we've got players that should be coming through our own side, our own B team, that should be at that age group that we should be trying to promote. Palmer similar to Elanusi. Well, Ewan, boy, you could be in with a shout there. Could be, but Elanusi played. Yeah, he could be in a shout there. He is similar. I remember watching a 2-year-old Messi kicking a beach ball at Ayr Beach. Oh, you never. Why would Messi be on Ayr Beach? Oh God, this is why I should drink. It's only Fanta. Oh, Palmer's YouTube video told the truth. It's class. O has better technique than Gigi, but Gigi was brilliant poacher. And we shouldn't have kept him, Jamie. He didn't want to stay. There's a difference between should have kept him, and there's a difference between players that wanted to leave and he wanted to leave. Um, See, I hope Ben Summers gets some time next season in the first team. I hope so as well. I was kind of hoping that they kind of players would stay with Celtic because I thought this was the season that it was to bring in their Ben Summers and everybody, and now they're getting pushed further out of the team, which I think ultimately is only going to end up in one thing, and it's going to be them leaving Celtic. Look, if they're good enough and they're good enough to go out on loan, they're obviously good enough to try and get in the squad. Players like that, if they're good enough and young enough, you know what? I'm always the one that says get them in the team. Pat, you're giving everybody a giggle. You're giving everybody a giggle. Breaking news: Messi picking muscles on Air Beach. ah, ah, I can't cope. I can't cope. Not sure about. Oh, I think we need another striker. Says Monty. We do. We definitely. You're making me choke on Jesus. Nothing. Oh, Messi on the Air Beach. That's an absolute cracker. Right, let's see what other Celtic news is kicking about this evening. Celtic's next three fixtures once we get back. Palma gets pumped up from Hoops Hero. Cameron Carter Vickers. Cameron Carter Vickers. I'm looking him out. Barry claims a snapper. Barry Ferguson likes talking about Celtic. Let me see what he's got to say. And what is it with the zombies? They love talking about us. Absolutely love talking. I mean, he's got to get their little articles and papers and that somehow. I'm looking at Barry Ferguson claims he'd snap 25-year-old player. Barry Ferguson never snapped any player in his life. Barry Ferguson reckons that he'd snap Liam Scales. But he says he'd also snap Rio Tati. Listen, I do take a bit of time, obviously. Jesus, oh my God. Barry Ferguson reckons that he would have snapped Rio Hatati's legs. I'm not even going to read any more of that because that's Barry, Mr. Side to Side. Mr. Side to Side Ferguson thinks that he could. For one, Barry Ferguson wouldn't get anywhere near Rio Hatate. Wouldn't get anywhere near Rio Hatate. Right. John Hartson. John Hartson has been talking, and let me just see, because this is probably a rehash story. There's one thing about a national week is that a lot of stories get rehashed. John Hartson believes that a player is getting more physical, and he needs to be more physical. Efficient season. Former Celtic hero was discussing Rio Hatate and gave the same reason, believing why the midfielder is going to get better under Brendan Rodgers. John Hartson went on to say, I think game by game he's getting stronger. He looks as if he's been more comfortable in the role that he plays. Remember, it's under a new manager this season. He'll be a wonderful player when we get him back. He's a huge player for Celtic. He's getting fitter and fitter. God, who writes for these websites? The international break has probably come at the wrong time for Rio Hatate. It says, I'm sure, despite everything, he'll love to pull on the green and white hoops as soon as possible and gain some momentum in his performances. But for now, Rio Hatate can focus on Japan and playing Canada on Friday night, and needs a good performance and some duty free on return. Honestly. Right, let's get back to some of the comments because I'm not staying on long tonight. Barry Ferguson's on. John Hartson said he could snap Barry Ferguson. Yet Barry Ferguson couldn't box eggs. Ferguson couldn't snap a Kit Kat. Barry Ferguson sniffing glue. Leslie, welcome to the channel. Leslie Piffy. Celtic will take Scottish football for a long time. I pretty much pretty much agree with you with that. But the the way that Scottish football is going and the Champions League, Peter Lawwell's been talking about that, and he said that there's too many games. From my perspective, I think that the Scottish League should be changed, and I think that the Scottish League should go to a bigger league, and that we should do away with the top six nonsense. It's just a complete joke. It's a complete joke. Playing each other 4 times a year is done. As far as I'm concerned, he's done. Can I send Yang out on loan in January? It says, chill. How can you send Yang out on loan in January? Do you think that'd be a good move for Yang? The Huns are obsessed with us. More like the other way around. Barry Ferguson talks wash. I saw Messi come on for a sub for Barca against Juve in the new camp when I lived there, and I went to the games. Don't know if it was debut. The whole game stood up, ripped it up. Did you see? Have you watched the Beckham documentary about when he went to Real Madrid? That was something else. That was crazy times. Right. Ferguson is good. Alistair Johnston, Jeff Ray says Alistair Johnson versus Kyogo and Hatate. That's going to be a Friday night special. I think that's a game that we should watch, do a watch along with. If nah, I can't commit to anything this Friday. It's my birthday, so I've just let the cat in the bag. Anyway, no. Hatate will be at a record sale, says Slavin. Do you think Hatate will go for more than 25 million? Do you think that Celtic would? Do you think someone will offer more than 25 million for a player that plays in Scottish football? I'm only asking the question. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just asking. I'm putting it out there. Do you think that Celtic will sell a player for more than 25 million to someone that isn't a Saudi club? Because let's face it, I can't see the English Premiership buying a Celtic player for 25 million. If they were gonna, they would have came in for Jota, and they could have bid 26 million and came in for Jota. But I just can't see it. They don't rate the Scottish League enough for to make some crazy. I mean, it's not crazy money in the grand scheme of things. When you look at some of the crap players down south that go for way more than that. But do you really think that he will be our highest fee? Jeff Race thinks that O'Reilly will be our biggest transfer when he decides to leave. I think you could be another shout there. Celtic already have dominated Scottish football for a long time. We've dominated Scottish football for around about 23 years now. Ever since Martin O'Neill came to Celtic, um, yeah, we've pretty much dominated. We've had a few seasons. I mean, they did try and do a three in a row at one point, but yeah, we've pretty much dominated it. When you look at the last 15 years, we've definitely dominated. Like John Shirley says, "We Baz blue in the head." He's the dance. He's a cheerleader. Yep. Get rid of Yang. If we have time to develop his end product. DJ Singy is in the house. Hello from Blackpool. Steaming. Who gets steamed? Who gets steaming in Blackpool? What are you doing in Blackpool? Oh, it's like Benidorm, isn't it? It's just like Benidorm. Face me crab, couldn't fight sleep. I'll do it with you, Baz. Yeah, Kaiser. Are you talking about Friday night? Happy 60th. Shut San Fran Celtic. Just calm yourself. Jesus. We never sell a club for it. The financial gulf between Celtic and Celtic will only get wider. Yes. Can't get Netflix anymore since they became passwords. Alistair Johnson wins at every time. He's beast. Any truth in the rumours that TNT Sport has been asked not to show Celtic games because the fans and banners? Says Pine Bovril. I think that's nonsense, Pine Bovril, but welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. I think that's complete nonsense. Complete nonsense. It's not what it'd be financial suicide for them to do something like that. Anyway, Guitar Man says Yang is really pushed off the ball easy and he needs to hit the gym. I pretty much would agree with you with that one, Guitar Man. I think that he does need to build his upper body strength. He needs to get used to Scottish football. I mean, people were talking about, Brendan was talking about the fact that Lewis Palmer took time to adjust And well, he seems to have found his feet now, and he's kind of on a bit of a goal scoring run. I think when the players come from Japan, it's not as physical a game. It's a bit like this, kind of like the Spanish game. You know, well, no, Japanese football is nothing like the Spanish game. Spanish is far better. But when you look at the way that they play off the ball, and it's not as physical, not as much contact. When you go to Scottish football, and let's face it, Scottish football, it's like turning the clock back 20 years. Some of the games. Baz is only 35. Lol says Kaiser. I think 25 million is a top as a cap for a Scottish player, says Ewan Boyd. I think so as well. I can't see many people paying more than 25 million for somebody that plays in the Scottish League. Unfortunately, we'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. I think Matt O'Reilly's a big shout for going on to for that. Happy birthday for Friday. Cheers for that, Helen. Hope AJ doesn't injure Kyogo. Could you imagine that? Oh my goodness, that would just be a complete nightmare. A complete nightmare if he was to do that. Have a great birthday, mate. Near 50 now. Started going games at 84. I didn't drink too much either now. I one or two. I can't drink anymore. When I do, I go from one extreme to the other. Either don't drink or then I just go on a bender. And so that's why I tend not to do it. Tierney was 25 million. Yep. Um, Posta mate. You might do, chill, pal. Away games so far: Aberdeen, Motherwell, Livingston, Rangers. Next to Hearts and Hibs. Is that fixed? They say that the computer says no. Computer says no. Do you know what? They do what they do to try and stop us. That's all I'm going to say on it. I don't think it's a fix, but anyway, that Arsenal back KT. I thought it was 23 million for Kieran Tierney, 23.5 million. I thought it was for Kieran Tierney. Baz, your birthday on Friday the 13th. Oh, you're superstitious. No, because it was born on Friday the 13th. It's a friggin' brilliant day. It's a brilliant day. And I always take plenty of time off. Scooby says, come on, Marty, the fixtures are computer generated. You boy, away and take Murray cheating years. Celtic have dominated since Jock Steens in 65. We never really dominated during the 80s. When you had Aberdeen, you had your Dundee United and everything. That was probably a glory time for Scottish football, the 1980s, when you had the likes of Aberdeen in Europe, Dundee United in Europe, Dundee United beating Barcelona in Europe. I just think it was a fantastic time going into the 90s. Going to 1988, Celtic obviously done the double in their centenary year. We won the league quite a few times in the 80s, but we wouldn't say that did we dominate? Not really, not. Love the show, Baz. Bring Nota back. Says Charles. You mean Jota. Thank you for loving the channel. George Shirley says, Baz, I'm 8 years older than you. No way. I said, how do you know you're 8? How do you know you're 8 years older than me? How do you know my age? It's spooky. Barry share my birthday with my granddaughter. She'll have a fantastic day then. Friday the 13th. Friday's the 14th, Lorna. No, it's not. No, it's not, James. Bring back Jota says, Charles, who generates who generates the computer? The 13th, no, Saturday's the 14th, says Lorna. I remember watching Barry Ferguson shining his pants in Botfield Main Street. Johnson hurts Italian Kyogo just to stay home for a few weeks. Lanarkshire Referees Association, that's who sorts out what's happened with Jota. Anyway, no idea. Sean, I think that Jota is still in no man's land. He did go back into training. He was back in training with his club, but I have no idea. No idea. Going to take a break from football for a bit. Might watch the Spain-Scotland game. Says Reese, I'm wasting too much time watching video podcasts instead of working every now and again. Oh dear, but you should be working during the day. You should be working during the day. You shouldn't be working at night, and especially at the weekends. That's what I love about this country. It's like working the weekends. It's like when it comes to a Sunday here, it's like turning the clock back to 1984. Everything closes, supermarkets, everything. It's brilliant. James went on to say we sold him. Happy birthday for Friday. Hope it has happy endings. I'll be saying that to the missus. Much for a happy ending. That is what he's building sandcastles in Dubai. Pretty much so. But then again, Messi was digging for clams on Air Beach. If you'd watched the video earlier, let's get some. We're just talking nonsense tonight. Transfer fees will continue to go up in the game. The money is crazy, says Jeff Ray. But when you look at Scottish football, will there be teams that will come in and pay over the odds, as far as we're concerned, unless they're going to buy them with 5 years left on their contract? But tends not to happen. Tends not to happen with that much time left on contracts these days. It tends to get down to about the 2 year mark before clubs decide to sell because they know that they're not going to get the Knights Templar was executed on Friday the 13th. There's lots of Knights Templars houses in Fife, which is weird. Very strange. Very strange. And I'm talking about going back a long, long time. There's a lot of old houses. Told you, Baz is 35. Baz, you've got a stalker. Yeah, who is it this time? That's who is it this time? Jeffrey says Celtic should up their wage bill and start bringing in £6 to £8 million players who are young but not projects. This is what we cried out for during the last transfer window, and we might have got a better return in the Champions League. When the first thing that Brendan Rodgers said after the game was, "It's an experience. Inexperience cost us. Players get sent off, and inexperience cost us the game." So what do we know? We're only talking football on here, as I've been told. Who am I to even talk about picking a team? So one Celtic fan's view. Sean, I meant to say, what's your law? We spell Tottenham are monitoring Jota, says Jeff. Baz will be south of Alicante this week. Ewan, boy, are you on Twitter? If so, contact me on Twitter. I don't know if you're on Twitter or not. If not, if you're not on Twitter, on that, not on Twitter, go on to the Facebook page and give us a message. I knew that Jota wanted Spurs. Baz, my birthday's the 10th of October and yours is Friday the 13th. So watch out for Jason. 13 international call-ups. We get 13 international call-ups, and that will get 13 calls from debt collectors. That is probably much true. Where's Matt O'Reilly going? Nowhere. We were just talking about the fact that who might be our next big player that might be sold in a few years' time, and we were talking about will anyone pay more than what they paid for Jota in a European league? That's what we were talking about. Jota would love it at Spurs. Messi on the beach, secret swimming pool, rich water. What's your thoughts on the Green Brigade doing Palestine Valor for the Atletico game? I'm not a fan. I said right at the beginning. I actually did a video this afternoon, going through everything that was said on the statement, and then I didn't post it. All I'm going to say is this channel's been going for 13 years. When you look back, the very first video that I did for Celtic, it was Neil Lennon getting announced as Celtic manager. I was there on the steps that day with about 100 other people. There wasn't a lot of people there to greet Neil Lennon the day that he was announced as manager. I was there with my two daughters at the time, 13 years ago. The very next video that I put up was a series of Green Brigade videos. So you'll know where the channel, the allegiance lies for this channel if you go back to the old videos. That's all I'm going to say about it now, because it's had an adverse effect on the channel, and it's not what I want. It's not what I want. It's not. I've put up the videos that I have put up already. I fully back the Green Brigade and everything that they do, and that's it. That's it. That is it. A wage man wants to pay about 60 million for the year already. Remember, 2012, Craig White asking for a loan for £1. He still hasn't paid it back. What's the guy from Da Vinci Code doing? Building houses in Fife. Lol. Ah, right, I'm going to jump through a lot of the comments. Probably got about 15 million for O'Reilly. Do you think so? Ronaldo was in Hangar 13 cash in crap. Hangar 13 was a brilliant club. Hangar 13 was a brilliant club. I did one of my first gigs there. It's absolutely fantastic club. I fully understand. Yeah, no, Reece, no worries about that. It's just got to put that in there. Celtic soccer crew, my brothers, God bless them. Yeah, that was back in the day. Back in the day, you must make you one of the first Celtic channels on YouTube. No, there was a Celtic fans channel, the Celtic fans channel. He was doing no, 'cause he was doing videos about the same time, because he sat right next to the Green Brigade when it was still up in the old top level. He started doing so. The two of us must have started doing videos round about the same time. But yeah, this channel has been going for 13 years, which a lot of people think is a new channel. A lot of people think that I've just popped up in the last year. Um, the channel has been around for a long time. Has been around for a long, long time. Was Hangar 13 in air? Yes, it was. Hangar 13 was in air. I used to go to the Metro. Metro was a cracker as well. Metro was in Saltcoats. That's why you're the best channel. And just say this and the words on your Jeff. You know what it is? I'm never going to be that. This Twitter was started as a Celtic Twitter back in 2009. Let's see it there. Joined August 2009, and it was all about it was just a Celtic Twitter, and it's never grown. Well, it did grow. I had about 2 or 3 thousand followers, but then I stopped using it for about 4 years, so it lost everyone. And then I stopped posting, and I never bothered about it. And I only kind of came back to it once I started the new format. So yeah, there's a lot of old videos there from early days of the Green Brigade, especially. So I'll never change. I'm not going to be one of these channels that'll bow down and toe a club line, or try and you just tell it as it is, and that's the way that this channel's always been. Tell it as it is. One of the best videos that I ever did, I think it did about 130,000, was one of the Rangers games. Let me just see. And I walked right through the Rangers fans. I walked right through the Rangers fans outside Celtic Park. Yeah, shut up. Who's that clown? Ah. Yeah, pause that. Right, don't go to live chat. I want to go into the channel. So, channel videos popular. Yep, best best video 130,000 Celtic Rangers 5 years ago. I walked right through the Rangers fans, and then I want to be Edward, and then yeah, it goes back quite a bit, quite a bit. So I don't talk about it, but I don't want it's nothing. I just get on with it. I just get on with what I do, and then once I started doing videos, the sort of vlog type videos, um, a little young guy started doing them at the same time, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave him to do them, and I'll come up with something different. And it took me a year or so. But anyway, Jeff says, "You look like you're singing an atmosphere of growing up in the jungle was the norm." Yeah, it was. I can remember. I can remember way back in the 1980s, getting singing rebel songs on the school bus. Being a Catholic school bus, what would you expect? Um, so I, so I can remember singing rebel songs on the school bus. Long time ago. And remember, I used to pay a fiver for the bus, and it was a fiver to get to Celtic Park. You borrow a tenner off your old man, and that was it. You were gone for the day. Anyway, let's show your YouTube. But as a pal, I like it how you get stuck into everything, not negative anyway, and I laugh. Yep, Barry, that's what. There's too many people. There's too many people on Celtic. I remember get squashed in the jungle. Yep, loads of times. There's too many people on, especially Celtic YouTube, that try to be, from my own opinion, and it is the one Celtic fans, they're trying to be a bit too professional. And this platform is not a professional platform. This is YouTube. It is not a professional platform at all. At all. So it's just YouTube. So you just got to do what you just do what you do. You know what I mean? And it's I've done YouTube for a long time. James Dillon says I sang rebel songs on the school bus. Yeah, and it was all IRA songs. You know, the 1980s. It was right in the midst of the troubles. 1984, 85, high school. You know, it was a telling time. And people going about atrocities and everything now. I can remember the guy that threw the hand grenades and at the funeral in Belfast, and everyone on the bus talking about it. People saying don't bring politics into football, but we done that on the school bus. You know what I mean? So anyway, the channel nearly at 10 million views. I'll tell you exactly what the channel's at, Danny. That shows how long it's been going. Um, it's actually, I'm sure it's done. Let me just see. Oh, it is. We're only 40. Oh, wow. We're at 9.5 million views. Nearly. We're 44,000. So we'll get to 9.5 million views in about a week's time. A week's time, we should hit 9 million. So I'll just show you that there. 9.5 million views for a channel that some people think's only been going for a year. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, you need more subscribers. Yes, Chilpel, I do. So it's a funny thing because the subscriber count goes up and down all the time. I'd love more subscribers, but the subscriber count isn't important to me. The content's more important. Kaiser's well done, your legends. See, but see soon, Baz. Yep. What time is it? It's about time to wrap up. Anyway, who fancies tomorrow night? Who fancies watching a football game tomorrow night? Let me just see, where are we? And Friday 13th, October, Thursday. Right, so it'll be Thursday tomorrow. Wales, Gibraltar. Wales, Gibraltar tomorrow night. I might be watching Wales, Gibraltar. I'm down Baz. Press the like button. Yeah, how many thumbs up have we had? It's only 76 thumbs up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the channel. So Obada will be the last Israeli player we'll see at Celtic team. Why would that be Pigeon? And who calls himself Pigeon? Somebody's got Jack's spicy he. Football mad. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Jeff, football mad. When he with 2 years started doing sort of vlog channel at about the same time, and 2018, 2019. And then I thought, I'm just going to leave it to that young guy because he'll have a fantastic YouTube career ahead of him if he does it right. And I've kind of been honest. I'm at an electric job done tomorrow. What time? Time, or else just say, it says chill pill. No worries. I remember standing in the jungle in the early 70s. We sang rebel songs, and it was 50 pence to get in. 50 pence to get into the football. 50 pence to get into the football. Right. That's us done and dusted for this evening. I might put it up on the community tab. Wales Gibraltar. Yeah, just Wales Gibraltar. It's not going to be on this channel though. It won't be on this channel. It will be on another channel that I'm going to test out. See what we can do with it. YouTube.com/on. Right, that's it. Yeah, it won't be on this channel. It will be on this channel. Right, Celtic fans. I wish I'd done. I wish Pigeon had done a do. Anyway, cheers. Have a fantastic evening. Hail, hail, everyone. Hail, hail, James Dillon. Hail, hail to Kaiser. Do it, Baz. You've got to tell us where to go. I'll do it again. There we go. That's the channel that we were watching the Wales game just for like giggles, just to get my head out of Celtic stuff and watching some other football and see if we can find some fantastic players for Brendan Rodgers to sign. So that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans. All good night from Parkhead, Stephen. You get the last words. Good night from Parkhead. Good night from me. Good night from you. Good night from me. Good night from you.